Hello, welcome to the lecture. Today we are going to implement linked lists. Linked list is a data structure, and we are going to see how we can implement a linked list data structure in Python. Okay, so linked list is a data structure, just like we have dictionaries, we have lists, we have sets, and we have tuples. Just like this, linked list is also a data structure, and we can learn how to create it. Okay, some common operations related to linked list are insertion of new nodes. Okay, so we can insert a new node at the beginning of the linked list, or we can insert a node at the end of the linked list. Okay, so let me tell you what a node is. Okay, so a node is like you can think of it like a box. Okay, a box that contains a value and a reference to the next of it. Okay, so you can think of linked list as a box. Okay, so suppose uh, we have three boxes. Okay, suppose we have three boxes, and each box contains a value and a reference to the next box. Okay, so suppose we have three boxes, and when we open the first box we get a value from it. Okay, and it also contains the reference to the next box. Okay, so through that reference we can get to the next box, and we can get its value. Okay, and the next box would also contain a value and a reference to the next box. Okay, so nodes are like that, very simple. Okay, so let us code this. Okay, so this is our PyCharm IDE, and we are going to code the linked list. Okay, so first we are going to create a class node. Okay, we are going to create a class node. So in the example of a box, what I told you, that this box contains a value and a next reference. Okay, a reference to the next box. Okay, so this is the class node. Okay, and in it we are going to initialize some things. Okay, so this would contain data. Okay, and next. Okay, uh, this next is a reference to the next box. Okay, you can think of it like that. Okay, so this is the common process of how we create classes in Python. Okay, this is a lecture about linked list data structure. Okay, so I am not going to be talking about how we create classes and other stuff. Okay, so so this is this is how this should be equal to next. Okay, so this is our node class. Okay, so this contains data and a next. Okay, so now we can create nodes through it. Okay, and we can create a linked list also. So let us create a linked list class. Linked list class. Okay, so this linked list class, let me initialize some things in it. Okay, let me initialize some things in it. Okay, self dot head. Okay, and this would be none. I will explain what all these are. Okay, so don't worry about it. Self dot head is none, then self dot tail is also none. So uh, so first we created the node, this thing, this class, okay, and this linked list will contain several nodes, okay. So a linked list will contain several nodes connected to each other, okay, and each node would point to the next node, okay. So a linked list will would be like that. So in a linked list, we mark the first node of the linked list as the self dot head, or we use this self dot, or we are using this self dot head variable to point to the first node of the linked list, okay. So in the beginning, when there are no nodes, okay, in the beginning when there are no nodes in the linked list, and when we add the first node, our self dot head and the self dot tail variables both would point to the same node, okay. So you have to take care of this in your mind, that in the beginning when there are no nodes in the linked list, both the self dot head and the self dot tail would point to the same node, okay. Now we are going to see the operations that we can perform. So let us perform this operation, insertion at the beginning, okay. We can add a new node in our linked list, okay, and we can insert it at the beginning. Suppose we have a linked list that has 3 nodes present in it. So insertion at the beginning means that we are going to insert a new node at the beginning of the linked list, and then we are going to point the self dot head variable to that new node, okay. So that new node would become the first node of our linked list. So that is what we mean by the insertion at the beginning, okay. So let me show you how we can do that, okay. So define add to start, okay. Let us have this name here. So we are going to define add to start here, okay, and this would need a data, okay. So for creating a node, what we want a piece of data, okay. Then after this we are going to create a new node, okay, and this node is going to be the object of this node class, okay. This node is going to be the object of this node class, okay. So new node would be equal to the node, okay, and we are going to enter data here, okay. So the next property, we don't have to enter the next property as I have already given a none value here. So we can do this in a different way, okay. Let me show you. This new node is an object of the node class, okay. So now we are going to check whether the self dot head is none or not. This is very important because we have to check whether there are any existing nodes in our linked list, okay. So we have to check if self dot head if self dot head is none, okay, then we are going to point self dot head to the new node, okay, and the self dot tail to the new node, okay. So if the self dot head is none, we are sure that there are no nodes in our linked list, okay. So our linked list is empty, and then we are going to point the self dot tail and the self dot head to the new node, okay. Now we are going to uh, be adding this return here. Okay, so this is what we will do when there are no nodes in the linked list. Okay, so let us now add our node to the beginning. Okay, so this new node has been created. Okay, and we have a self.head variable that points to the node, that points to the first node of the linked list. Okay, so what we can do is that we can use the new node dot next. Okay, and this we can point it towards the self dot head. Okay, so we are just connecting the pieces. Okay, so we are, what we are doing is that we are pointing the new nodes next to the self dot head, and the self dot head is pointed towards the node, first node in the linked list. Okay, so now what we are going to do is that we are going to point the self dot head to the new node. Okay, it's very simple. So first what we have done is that we have pointed the new nodes next to the self dot head. Okay, so that's simple, and then again we are just making the self dot head point to the new node. Okay, so now the new node is the first node of the linked list. Okay, so this is how we add to the start of a linked list. Okay, so let us first check whether this is working or not. Okay, so let us check whether this is working or not. Okay, so let us create a print list function. Okay, print list. So we are going to create a print list function, and this will print our linked list. Okay, so we are going to set a current node. Okay, current node is self dot head. Okay, current node is self dot head, and then we are going to be printing. So we are going to be looping through the linked list. Okay, so while current node is not a none. Okay, so we can write it like that, while current node is not none, or we can write it like while current node. Okay, so we can do it like this, string list. Okay, here, so let us create this, and while we loop we are going to update the value of the current node. So current node is current node dot next. Okay, this is how we loop in the linked list. Okay, so each time we loop we are going to refer to the next node of the linked list, and through that link we are going to get to the next value of it. Okay, so we are going to print the current node dot data. So while we loop we are going to print the current node dot data. Okay, so let us create some nodes. Let us create some nodes and let us create a linked list. Okay, so let us create a linked list. So list, so I'm going to create a list of fruits. Okay, so fruits, for fruits, apple, apple. Okay, and we can have grapes, we can have grapes, we can have mango, mango, we can have kiwi, kiwi. Okay, so we have four fruits here, and now I'm going to create a linked list object. Okay, so let us create fruit, fruit list. Okay, and this is going to be a linked list instance. Okay, linked list object, so this would be equal to the linked list. Okay, here, and now we are going to iterate over the fruits in this fruit variable. Okay, so for fruit in, so we are going to change the name to fruits here. Okay, so for fruit in fruits, that would be better. So for fruits, fruit in fruits, we are going to be adding the fruit to our list. Okay, so this fruit would go in the data. Okay, so let us, for fruit in fruits, we are going to be using the add to start of this linked list here, and we are entering this fruit as data, and then we are going to use the fruit list dot print list. Okay, so let us see whether it's working or not. Okay, so as you can see, this print list is working correctly. Okay, uh, it's showing kiwi, mango, grapes and apple, and we are, as you know, we are adding to the beginning. Okay, so the first fruit was apple, so when we added apple, it became the first node of the linked list. Okay, then we added grapes, then the grapes become the first node of the linked list. Okay, as we are adding to the beginning of the linked list, then we added mango, that became the first node of the linked list, and then we added kiwi. Okay, so so this kiwi, mango, grapes and apple, this is the sequence. Okay, so it's working correctly. Okay, now we are going to create the string representation of this. Okay, so that we get a visual representation of our linked list. Okay, so in the string list, we are going to be adding the string value of current node dot data. Okay, so this string str function would change this current node dot data to string type. Okay, so it would convert this to a string type, and then what we are going to do is that we are going to create a arrow, and we are going to concatenate these two. Okay, so that when we print this, we get a uh, good representation. Okay, so we can return the string list here. Okay, and we are going to remove this print current node from here. So now we are going to print this. Okay, we are going to print this fruit list. Okay, and let us see what we get. So as you can see, this is the output we got from that this code. Okay, this piece of code, and kiwi, and then that pointer points to the next node, which is mango, then grapes and then apples. Okay, so let us see again what is happening here. Okay, So as we are adding to the start of the linked list, okay, we are adding to the start of the linked list, and we the first fruit was apple, so it became the first node of the linked list when we added it. Okay, then then came grapes, and grapes became the first node of the linked list as we are adding to the start of the linked list. Okay, and then we added mango, and after that we added kiwi. Okay, so this is how uh, it's getting represented here. Okay, and it looks okay. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me. I will meet you in the next lecture, and we would be talking about adding to the end of a linked list. Okay, so I will meet you in the next lecture.